And we are back. Hi, everybody. We're going to be talking about the Airbnb tenant from hell. Thank you so much for joining me for part two. And thank you for allowing me to go and pick up the girls. Y'all, we are back. I hope y'all got your notification bells on because, honey, we're about to talk about this. Let's do it. Ain't no need to talk no more. Let's just do it. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers and my nieces and nephews and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. It's time for auntie advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for auntie advice. Welcome back, everybody, and this is Auntie, and we're going to continue talking about the Airbnb Nightmare Squatter. Y'all, let me catch y'all up in case you have not been here, okay? I'm going to catch you all up. An Airbnb tenant from hell booked a home for a month, now says that she is entitled to squat there as long as she wants to. Alleged squatter Shadeja Romero reserved Roshan Douglas short-term rental in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, for 32 days, ending on March 29th of this year, of our Lord 2025. According to Douglas, she failed to leave the home and began claiming residency after just 30 days, according to court filings. Okay. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Douglas served her with a 30-day notice to vacate the property. She has called the police, taken the alleged squatter, and in October offered her $2,500 to sign a document admitting that she is not a legal tenant. Okay, and that is according to WJLA. Now, Chade says she signed a document, but when her eviction date arrived on November the 15th, she declined to leave the property and claimed that the arrangement was no longer working for her. Child, we are going to together bring court to order, and we going to talk about this. Please be mindful of what you say downtown in the chat. Okay. Let's get into it, y'all. I'm a little calmer than I was before. Can y'all tell? Okay, so let's get into it. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. So hold on. Let me share my screen. Let me set everything up. I'm hoping everybody had a fantabulous day. Want y'all to first hear from the young woman who owns the property. Okay, we're going to listen to her and how she feel about the circumstances and the situation. Yes, we will be pausing. Okay, we will be pausing to discuss because we are doing a what recap and a reaction to the foo la la. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. I'm going to share the screen and we're going to hear from Miss Douglas. Okay. Let's do it.
My property. There's a leak in the property. The water bill is escalating. I can't get in there to see what's going on. The alleged squatter originally got into the home through Airbnb, claiming that her apartment caught fire and it needed time to get repairs. Now that was back in February. Roshane Douglas says she didn't know she was opening her life up to a nightmare when she accepted Shadija Romero's Airbnb reservation almost 10 months ago.
Child. 10 months ago, she accepted this. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to change this so y'all can see better. I don't know why it's coming up. Oh, okay. Got a black background. That's why. No. Trying to share the screen with this so y'all can see it clearly. Okay, here we go. This is the best we're going to get, y'all. I'm sorry. It got a big black round. All right, let's go.
That reservation ended March 29th after 32 days, and Romero hasn't paid another dime. But living in the home for over...
So on this text message, it says, "Good afternoon. We still haven't received the payment. Hello, can you let me know what's going on? I'm not sure what's going on, but if we don't receive the payment by tomorrow, you will have to leave the property." So here's the thing. I feel like girlfriend is getting over on loopholes because this young lady continued to collect rent from her, which then turned her, in my opinion, relationship with this squatter into a landlord-tenant situation. She turned this into a landlord-tenant situation when she continued to collect rent from her. If you listen, and we're going to listen to what the young lady is saying, she basically saying she gave me the joint. Even though she said she didn't want a landlord to the situation with her, then don't collect rent. All right, let's keep on going.
A month apparently lets her claim some form of tenant rights, and she refuses to let Roshane enter the property.
So if you are in the District of Columbia, don't know whatever kind of rules there are in other states, but if you are in the District of Columbia and someone is staying in your home over 31 days, they can claim tenancy in your joint.
Never gave her any tenancy. I never gave her a lease.
Roshane tried everything, gave her a 30-day notice to vacate, called police, went to court, and even offered Romero $2,500 to sign a paper admitting she's not a tenant and to get out. Romero signed the document, but didn't budge.
November the 15th came and she told me, "This no longer works for me. Do what you have to do. I'm not leaving." I went to the police with my order, and they said there's nothing that they can do, that I need to go to court, which I've done, and I do not have a court date until December the 11th.
Roshane put this sign up on her home so police and the neighbors would know Romero was not authorized to be there. A sign Romero covered with a sheet.
I need police assistance.
I was there when police helped Roshane cut it down, while Romero hid inside.
It's
Now, can you imagine that you out there cutting a sheet down? You done put a sign up there for your daggone people, right? To let everybody know she illegally in the property. She's illegally in the property. And she gonna put a sheet over it. And she out there cutting the sheet down. What in the whole la? Yeah, I'm telling you, couldn't be me.
Shocking to me that you would abuse a system like that.
While all this is going on, Romero's social media shows her living her best life on...
Y'all, she is on her Facebook, which I think now has been closed, traveling, doing all kinds of stuff downtown to the Facebook. You can't make that up. I'm talking about traveling. She got a LLC. Like she running a business out the woman's home. If you looked at part one, when a news channel 7 went to go to the home, they peeped through the window and saw all of her products for her business, y'all. You can't make this up. No, her friend helped her cut. The police cannot do anything in the District of Columbia because this is a landlord tenant issue, Tamika. So no, it was not. It was her, girlfriends covering her.
trips, and promoting her nonprofit.
Look,
And
y'all. Y'all. She's having a ball on this girl's dime.
Roshane is left paying thousands in attorney fees, the mortgage, and utilities for a home she can't even enter.
The police allowed her to hire a locksmith and break in. She gave them no documents. She gave them no court orders. She gave them no lease. She just came and said, I'm locked out. This is taking me somewhere where I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to stay on the right. But for somebody to just take and do, everybody has a breaking point.
I went back to the property today and saw child services show up because Shadija brought her daughter into the home while there was no power or electricity inside. Police also showed up.
Girl, you doing the most with the least. You doing the whole most with the least. You are on vacation. You wilding out. Y'all, this woman totally has a cotton freaking store. Let me share that with y'all. Shut up. With Love, Deja owner accused. She has a store, www.withlovedeja.com. In this thing, she has do everything with love. Meditate, eat, and cuss. You can. This Ms. Romero, the owner of the nonprofit clothing line With Love Deja, is accused of squatting in an Airbnb without paying rent for 10 months. She told this lady that she needed a place to stay while her home was being renovated. But after the 30 days ended on March the 29th, she refused to leave the house and stopped paying rent. Here's the bad thing about this, y'all. I'm going to tell you what the bad thing about it is. You know and the girl, the hair is not cute at all, Miss Wendy. Okay, I don't know what that is sitting on the top of her head. But here's the thing: there is a moratorium in DC. Okay, in the winter months on heat, water, and electricity. It is absolute. Now we ain't talking about March when she moved in there. We talking about right now. In the winter months, you can't cut nothing off. Utility companies cannot cut anything off. The heat and the water have to stay on, and the lights. So if Douglas don't get her up out of that camp soon and very soon, she probably will be there until winter is over. Do y'all hear me? Until winter is over. She gonna be in that month, allegedly. Everything that is said here tonight is reaction, a recap. Everything is my opinion, and everything else is alleged. Okay, let's go, y'all. I'ma tell y'all right now, I'm not suited nor booted for anything like this. I don't believe in my heart of hearts, y'all, in my heart of hearts, that I will be able to tolerate this, y'all. I ain't got this to do. I'm going to go back and show you all part 2, and we're going to hear from her herself, who says that she is not squatting in this house. Just 1 second, let me pull it up. They had an opportunity to sit down with her and to interview her because she wanted to, I guess, put it out there. I would be so embarrassed if she was my girlfriend or if I knew her. Oh my God, you talking about the embarrassment. This is completely out of order. Let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. Would you say, Tamika? Absolutely not. And she's running around living it up. Heck no. Now, in another video, I have to find it. Miss Douglas, the one who actually owns the property, said that she has been seeing her taking stuff about her house. She alleges she been taking furniture and everything about that house. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, she been doing the most. And her worst fear is that her house is going to be ruined by the time she leaves up out of there. If you look at squatter shows and stuff like that, or squatters on TikTok, or homeowners who've had squatters on TikTok, YouTube, or and on other platforms, they your house up when they leave. We did an article early in the earlier part of the year where these nurses, I believe one of the girls was a nurse or something like that, and was in somebody's house, and she had asked them to move out, and they tore it up with water. Water is the biggest enemy to a home, not a fire. Water will condemn your whole entire house before a fire ever will. Okay. Let's go. I'll bring it up. Let's share. Because sharing is caring. Let's react to this, y'all, shall we? Yes, we shall.
How it got to this point.
In February of this year, I moved into the unit initially through an Airbnb. There was a month agreement.
She said initially through an Airbnb. It's still an Airbnb. It is not an apartment building.
Which I paid for on the Airbnb platform due to a fire.
Now, mind you, this is the same woman we saw rolling in the hallway, partying, traveling, allegedly. This is the same woman. Now she all calm. Girl, bye.
Which I then asked the owner if we could extend the time frame in.
Can y'all imagine this being your friend?
The home. We came to an agreement that I could do that. She sent me monthly invoices, which I paid those monthly invoices in order to stay in the unit. I had a month where I had a financial loss of over like $17,000.
So now she gonna call somebody else. That's the audacity for her to sit there and try to get choked up over having a $17,000 financial loss, but then you're gonna put this financial loss on this woman. When I looked at it, I thought that the mortgage on it was $2,400 a month for the Airbnb. So you do the math for how much this woman has already lost in 10 months. In 10 months. But now you're going to sit up there and talk about a financial loss that you had, but you don't care nothing about this woman? Okay.
Was that due to work or personal?
It's a personal issue. I helped someone in the past and it came back to bite me because I am.
I know you lying. I know you lying.
Everyone can see, you can search me because I'm not hiding from anyone. So
you're not hiding from anybody. You hiding from Miss Douglas all up in her Airbnb.
They were able to find me, and then I was held liable for something I helped someone do. So that
girl,
put me in a financial strain. But either way, I paid.
Her head do look like she in a financial straight down. Her head is giving, I don't have any money to fix myself up on the inside or on the outside. But that does not give you the right to cause someone else a financial hardship.
I still made the payment. I made the payment late.
Do y'all hear the emotion?
Because I had the issue. I'm sorry, I'm emotional. I didn't mean to get emotional. I'm trying to speak clearly. The financial thing was, like I said, almost $17,000. So it's
Tyler Perry need to call her. Did y'all see that code switch?
sent me into a depression. Prior to me going
Out
out of the
of
country,
order.
well, actually, I was going to make a payment on the 15th of October. On the 15th of October, my daughter's car, her steering wheel locked.
So she helped somebody else. She said she lost $17,000. Now the daughter's having problems with her car, her steering wheel locked. And so what does this have to do with her staying in the Airbnb and allegedly causing this woman, Miss Douglas, to be out of her property for 10 months with no rent? When she has already told her, I do not want this to be a landlord tenant thing. I am not your landlord. This is an Airbnb.
While she was driving, and I had to get to her because she was on the roadway, and
What roadway? Where's the proof? Did you call Geico?
she couldn't.
State Farm?
I needed to make sure that she
Allstate?
was safe and get her
Progressive?
resolved. That took me past the hours of bank hours, so I didn't make my payment on that day because the bank had closed. I had the emergency situation with my daughter.
Why does she have to go to the bank? Don't nobody go inside no bank anymore. Why does she have to go in a bank to pay for her rent? And why are you paying at the 12th hour? This don't even make sense. Who's going in a bank?
The next day, I went to retrieve the funds for the payment.
How did she pay the payment before? Don't through Airbnb. You don't give nobody cash in hand or a check in hand. You pay for it on the app. So if the lady gave you a 30-day notice and she decided to you have an app that you can pay on.
Because I was going out of the country and I wanted it, taken care of while I was gone. But it wasn't. The money was lost. I wasn't aware of that while I was gone.
Wait a minute, that don't make sense. See, that's the thing about it when you be spinning, when it appears that no, escrow by the court. No, Wendy, she's not at escrow right now. She's not right there. Right now, she's paying the payment. She got an extension, Wendy. That's where we at right now. She not just not even at court yet. So she not at the escrow period. This is just a regular payment she's supposed to be paying this woman. She allegedly had asked for an extension because according to her and Miss Douglas, I got to find Miss Douglas' testimony. According to Miss Douglas, this lady here asked to stay in her Airbnb because the place that she was previously living in had a fire. She asked to stay there temporarily while they were repairing her home. She said, "All right, deuces." That when it was time for her to get the fuck out of her Airbnb, she said the apartment isn't ready yet. They still need more time. Can I get an extension? It should have been no. However, it appears from another video, and I got to see if I can find it, that the place where she was previously living in, she had not paid the rent there for 12 months. But because the lady was using Airbnb, she didn't do the checks and balances. If you're going to Airbnb, be a landlord and all of that, you got to do all your checks and balances on these people. People will come in there and appear to be one thing, and honey, they something else.
I came back, and so the 15th was the day the payment was due. 16th, I went out of the country. When I went out of the country, because I had just had that big financial loss, I turned all of my phones off because I was trying to like decompress.
By rolling on the floor, hanging on the beach, doing all of that. This isn't making sense. You had already had the money to pay for the vacation. You didn't know that all of this was coming to decompress.
From, what I had been experiencing.
She better help out. She better hope if this goes all the way that I ain't sitting there on as one of the jurors on her case. She better hope I ain't juror 160. She done had a $17,000 financial loss, but she got enough money to go out the country and not pay her monthly rent. And as you wait, the people like this, they will wait until you threaten them and serve them and then pay so it can stop the process in the courts. As I said in part 1 of this video, the District of Columbia is very tenant friendly. If you know you got a scam and a good scam, and you want to scam and you want to do a good scam, move to DC. I digress. Allegedly.
And I didn't turn my phones back on until later that Monday. When I came into the property on that Monday, so that's like maybe 6 days after the rent was due.
6 days after the rent was due.
Electricity to the home had been cut off.
Yeah, because she didn't know where the f you was.
And at that point, that's when I was made aware that the payment had not been made.
How? What a lie. Did y'all? What a lie. She just said that she went out of town. She couldn't get to the bank. I'm going to start acting real ignorant here. She couldn't get to the bank. She said the next day she got on her flight and left the country. Now she's sitting up here saying 6 days after being on vacation and it's time for me to come back. Now I realize that the payment did not get paid. You knew the payment did not get paid when you left it without the country because that's what you just said. You just sat there and said, I ain't paid it because I was going out the country. I was on vacation. I needed to unwind. I lost $17,000. Why am I hollering? Why am I screaming? You just sat your ass up there and told a whole bald-faced lie. Write it down. In the future, y'all, if you know that you're going to lie, write it down. She knew it wasn't done. How dare she sit there and say, that's when I realized the payment hadn't been paid. You knew that before you can laugh. I can't.
I then called Pepco to figure out. At first, I thought maybe it was a power outage. So first,
how is she calling Pepco? You're in an Airbnb. You're not renting an apartment. You don't have a lease. How the f are you calling Pepco? because you know daggone well that the girl done caught up with you and cut your off. So now you want to be able to go to DC and file something and go and run tell that, but you ain't run tell them you ain't paid this rent.
Called Pepco, found out it wasn't a power outage and that the owners had turned off the
Electricity,
they had
bitch.
turned off the electricity. So then the electricity was turned on so that we could have power. They turned the power back off.
Can you imagine this being your mother?
Because they said I had no right to turn the power on. I went to the courthouse to that following.
Look, she got all this time on her hand that she in somebody else's shit, and she got time to go to the courthouse and file something. This isn't because of a financial loss, in my opinion. This was intentional and on purpose. This was the scam that Todd set up to come to you with the bullshit.
One day to file an emergency hearing because they had turned the power off, and I didn't want them to be able to turn the power off again. No point.
Wow.
Prior to this, did I state anything about like tenant rights? Was I worried about anything about tenant rights?
No, you were acting with tenant rights because you knew, because it appears allegedly that you've done this before, so you know the 31-day rule. If you do 31 days in somebody's house, or you get a piece of mail, or you get a piece of mail, you can claim that you're a tenant. You already knew what the game was allegedly.
Because up until that point, everything was being paid every month, even if it was paid 2 days late, it was paid.
Oh, so you are late
after
there.
that,
She know this game, in my opinion.
we've now
Y'all tell me what y'all think downtown in the comment section. Is it just me?
progressed to the point where they come to the home almost every other day. I called the police.
They coming every other day because you squat now.
Police informed them that I was a resident or a tenant here. She said
That's right, because you're not a resident, so keep your vocabulary right. She said a resident got off a tenant. You don't have a lease.
we didn't have a lease, which we do not have a lease in place, but we did have an agreement for me to stay at the property beyond.
Girl, you better breathe. You better breathe, girl. Girl, you got it. She said, this too much for me. Out of order. Girl, if you don't breathe. Ray Della said, get them likes up. She said they too low.
Beyond the initial Airbnb time frame. So she's been back to the property almost every day. They installed signs.
I wonder why.
The police told me that I could take down the signs because they were not legal signs issued by the court. They were signs that she had just had.
Douglas placed a sign on the house notifying police and neighbors that the current occupant was not authorized to be inside, but Romero and her fellow occupants allegedly covered it with a sheet. Romero is pictured removing the sheet from the daggone sign on Wednesday.
Made in an attempt to try to harass me more and force me out of the property sooner.
Let me tell y'all something. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Told them that I could not be out of the property within a a short period of time because I had just had that financial issue. But that I
Well, now it's a financial issue.
would go through this process.
Well, why would she go on vacation when she got a $17,000 financial issue when she out the country?
That DC has to assist people who have had financial issue in order to pay the rent.
See, she know the law. She know the laws. That's one thing about these squatters and people like that. They know the laws. They know them better than you do.
Informed that I would go through that, and that while they were going through the legal process while they initiated the legal process, because they had never initiated the legal process before to like have me move from the property, that I would ensure that everything was paid. And then it's just been a continuance of them, the police and you coming to the home, and the power is currently off. So, yes.
Well, thank you for sharing your side, Juan. I heard you mention the tragedies of financial loss. I do know also when I went through the court records, the messages between you two, the Airbnb reservation, things like that. I heard you say there were payments, but transaction-wise, there was nothing for nearly 9-10 months, July.
No, she not shocked. No, she is not acting shocked. Y'all, did y'all see? Did y'all see that she shook her head like she was out of order? That is completely out of order. She's stuttering over words because she is trying to get that story together. She probably done hit every god chat GPT and AI. In my opinion, these are my opinions. She probably done hit every one of them, pulled up every rule, every law. Y'all, I'm telling you, these people be knowing the law better than you do. She probably got all kinds of AI subscriptions on how to get over and stay in this woman's house. She been in this woman's house, y'all, for 10 mother months. I cannot say on YouTube how I would handle this, but I damn sure wouldn't be Miss Douglas. Y'all will be looking and be like, oh my God, is that Auntie? Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Ching ching in the back of the sitting straight like this, giving all kinds of photo ops. I ain't got this to do with you. Yeah, Auntie's advice. Got locked up last night downtown to the Airbnb. You hate to think like that, and you hate to, but my stomach is flipping. That's why I came to y'all with it. Because I want to get y'all reaction and what y'all would do if this were you. If you were put in this position, your hard-earned money going down the drain because she don't want to get the out. And as I said, DC is very, very, okay, tenant friendly. because it is not a state. And here this woman is sitting up there, knows the law, and takes advantage of it. Because I need to find, hold on, I need to find where they had, hold on, y'all, I'm going to look it up, where the young lady said that she found out that she has done this multiple times, that this is not her first time at the rodeo. And that's what's sad. She went and changed the locks on her. When she goes and changes the locks on the girl, she comes back, and guess what? The locksmith let her in. And I can tell you that they don't ask for nothing, because I've been locked out my house when my dog decided to jump, okay, up on the door and hit the latch. Let me find it, y'all. Hold on. Because I need y'all to hear. Y'all, this right here will make you somebody up. This right here will make you lose your mind. This right here will make me lose my mind. Let me see if I can find it. Is this? No, that's not it. Okay, so I showed that in video one. Y'all make sure y'all go back to video one. But I need y'all to show this, see this other part. Is this it? Let me see if this is it. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if they got it on here for me. Hold on. I'm trying to see, y'all, whether or not this has the other part too. Y'all have got to hear the other part. That ain't it. Hold on, y'all. Talk amongst yourselves. Got to find the rest of that interview. Where's the rest of the interview? Yo, I cannot find it. I'm looking. No, that's not it. Yo, I cannot find it. God dang it. I'm looking. Hold on, y'all. I'm still looking because I want y'all to see this. Let me see if this is it. No, that's not it. Okay, so in the other interview that I can't seem to find, she asked her flat out point blank. You said you signed a document saying you was gonna leave. Why you ain't leave? Why you ain't leave? At that point, it had gotten to the point where I was feeling harassed. And I went down to the judge and I filed, and the judge ruled in my favor that I could stay in the house. And then they got to go to court on the 11th, I believe it is. Are you crazy? Y'all, this has gone to cars being vandalized. This has gone to hell. So Douglas claimed that she went to the police with the signed order for this girl to vacate, but she was told they had no legal right to intervene. They told her when she went down there that there's nothing that you can do, so you just need to go to court. She said she did that, and her court date is December 11th. I should take off. I should take off work and sit my raggedy behind right down there at the daggone DC courthouse. Y'all, I should take off and go right down there downtown to the DC courthouse and hear and find out. You know what? I just might do that because that's open court. Landlord tenant is open. Hmm. Douglas, who insists she never gave this girl tenancy or provided her with a lease, boarded up the windows and locked the doors at the home on Wednesday and notified all her neighbors that this girl was a squatter. Neighbors claimed to have seen this girl and her guests leave the premises with their bags packed and the car fully loaded. They said verbatim, I think she's finally gone. Noticed that the police came and cleared the home. She said, in quotes, they told me I could secure the property. I disabled the locks. I had my contractor come over and board up the property. There was something going on with the electricity, so there's no electricity in the property, and I secured it. It's so wild because people will come to you and be a total different person having on a mask. You got to be, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, you got to have your wits about yourself when you are interacting with people. I have been around people that are sweet as I don't know what, and in another environment didn't even recognize them. Needless to say that they never enjoyed my company again. But when I sit here and look at this picture of this girl, let me show y'all. She was hood ratchet. Look at her. Hood ratchet, in my opinion. Just hood ratchet. See, make sure y'all can see her. Tongue all hanging out. But she done lost $17,000. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with any of the girls that's in this picture with her, but that's some ratchet mess. And you know that this person did not show up when she had an emergency and needed to stay up in her cotton freaking house. You gotta go and do some serious background check. You can't do the standard realtor, real estate, tenant, Airbnb. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It ain't enough no more because everybody out here with a hustle. Everybody got a hustle. And you just got to know what that hustle is. And these people be up in your house. Child, they got people now who I was looking at some other hoarders, and they got people now, honey, who got their own little lease, made up leases. But this was an Airbnb. So my advice is you stay in the home. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when a woman went in there, right, I don't know who is, and I'm not going to blame the victim, right? I'm not. But you got to have somebody that know what they know. It's not enough anymore to buy a side property, right? Because people have been talking about that, buying investment properties. You buy an investment property, set it up as an Airbnb. Now, in New York, the person got to be on the premises, right? But you need to have you a room up in there because when I would have, knowing what I know from watching other people, we're going to live in there together. Me and the whole crew going to come in and we going to live in there with you. We're going to live in there with you. We're going to live together. Mm-hmm. I'm bringing my bag, my coat, my air mattress. I'm bringing everything. I'm going to be remote working from home. I'm going to be doing all that. Yep, I'm going to be doing all that. Me and the crew. We're going to live there with you, which is what a lot of people have found themselves resorting to, living in there with you. Hmm. Now, I'm being nice about what I would do. Hmm. But I could not fathom living through this environment because that lady said, Miss Douglas said, yo, but why I wanted to find a video. She said, I am probably going to lose my house because I'm paying over $4,000 a month for her. She said she is paying over $4,000 a month for her to live in her home. Do the math. She has been in that home for 10 months and she is paying $4,000 a month. In the comment section, how much has she lost? Thank you so much, Philly Fox, for the $4.99 super chat. That's not for me. I'm too nice. I just want to eat sushi and chill. I ain't got it to do. Love you. Love you too, boo. Thank you so much for your support. Yes, you can. I don't know if you're asking a question, but yes, you can move into the home. Before she got all of this lady is going down to the court building and filing restraining orders against her. But if she had talked to other people or did just a little bit of research, she would have known before you do anything, move in there with her. Don't harass her. Don't turn nothing off. Just move in. Make the sacrifice and move in. I know you mad and you probably mad enough to fight. I'm sure if they from DC, hmm but I would be living with her. And she would not have been in there 10 months because we would have been just about having parties almost every night. We'd been having all kinds of stuff coming in up in there, running up in there, cooking like I would have been like a corner store, honey. I'd have been cooking chicken at night, and they'd have been playing cards. She wouldn't have got a wink of sleep up in that mother. There is another way to skin a cat other than doing the typical change in a lock. You can't do that in DC. You got to move in. And she can't tell her that she can't stay in her own Airbnb because nowhere on the Airbnb does it say that she has a right to be living in there by herself. Okay, and why would you take rent from her? You became a tenant, a landlord tenant relationship, and the squatter knows that. If y'all look at the other interview, and I can't find it, I don't know why. Maybe it's not meant for me to find it. But if you listen to her, she already know what the laws and the squatting laws are. After 31 days, I live here. I'm gonna come and live with you. We gonna live together. Me, you, and I. We will color. We gonna color purple. You and I will never part. My sister. We color purple. You silly, and I'm yeah. I'm silly. You natty. And honey, we in a sea, a field of weeds, and we color purple and up in here. I'm back home, silly home. You gonna see me coming down the field like color purple. I'm gonna have a whole entourage from Africa. What? A whole entourage. A whole entourage. We gonna be coming down there, honey, beating drums and some more stuff. Cause we staying in there with you. We roommates. You and I, we ain't never gonna part. Sunset to sunrise, we out here. We in these streets. There's another way for her to skin this cat. She attended, but now I done got the house coded into a 4-part unit, and I'm staying in the kitchen. Okay? Having people in shit. Okay. We live here. It's open. Whosoever will, let them come. Okay, you see, they got companies that move in with squatters. It's another way to skin this, but they gonna be in court on the 11th, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I just might be down at DC Court Building. I need to go and see if I can pull a docket and see what courtroom they gonna be in. You would be thinking, honey, that I will be out of my mind crazy, and then after that, I will get rid of the home. I sure would. I would get rid of the home. hmm Because this would be enough for me to be done, tied and through. There is such a high risk in renting your home, Airbnb in them, because one thing I notice about people is that they will not get out your home. They need an exterminator. Some people do. And I know, and I mean, I'm talking about like exterminating bugs. You got a infestation of maybe mice or roaches or maybe gnats or whatever, right? And you need an exterminator. That's what I'm talking about, because I don't want nobody coming thinking I'm talking about something different. But sometimes, you have to do the unusual in order to get people to do what they're supposed to do. I'm moving in with you. I'm trying to tell y'all. I think I'm gonna be down at. I think I'm gonna have to look this up on the docket downtown at the DC courthouse because I think I'm gonna have to go down there and look at that. It is, it's just unfortunate, and with things getting as hard as they are, it's not gonna get no easier. And that's why the landlord tenant court be full because DC is tenant friendly. It is very hard to get someone evicted out of your home in the District of Columbia. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, people do all kinds of stuff, and especially as it comes in the winter. Because the winter, you get all the moratoriums. I don't know if they do them in let me see, let me look it up. Let me see. Okay, so they said not every state has a universal heat moratorium in winter, but most states around 40 degrees have cold weather protections or winter moratoriums. Though they vary widely by state, some are date based, others are temperature based, like below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, often with exemptions for vulnerable populations, elderly, disabled, low income, or those requiring utilities to prove safety before shutoff, not a complete ban. So they said in most states, okay, they said like in Connecticut. In Connecticut, the date base hits for that in November, from November to May. Good God Almighty. Massachusetts is from November to April the 1st. Temperature base. Alabama, Arizona, and Virginia. Virginia prohibits disconnections when extreme cold hits 32 degrees Fahrenheit in the forecast. Maryland requires utilities to file an affidavit in an attempt personal contact before shutting off anything in the code. Vulnerable population states 44 as of 2025 prohibit you from turning any utility off for protected elderly, disabled, or people who got low income. And did we not hear her say she was having a financial difficulty? So while you may want a real property, you may want that side hustle. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You got to be very careful. And it is sometimes to your advantage to hire an agent. This woman, according to Lipstick Alley, they said is living her best life. Let me show y'all this. This don't make no good. I'm telling y'all, this, y'all let me know what y'all think downtown in the y'all let me know what y'all think downtown in the let me see if I can find a lipstick out. Look at this. Lipstick Alley. With Love, Deja owner Shajaya wrote whatever. Social media shows her living her best life on trips and promoting her nonprofit, all while squatting, allegedly, in an Airbnb for 10 months. Do what you have to do. I'm not leaving, she told the homeowner. I just had to bring that to y'all. I just had to tell y'all about that. Y'all let me know what y'all think downtown in the comment section. How would you handle this? Would it be street justice or downtown to the courthouse? Let me know. Because this right here, I ain't got this to do at all. And it's so unfair to Miss Douglas. But if I don't leave you with nothing else, do your homework. If you extend, you need to modify the whole entire contract. And you cannot collect rent unless you are a landlord on a monthly basis. Airbnb is a one night stay. So maybe she has learned something from this. Maybe she gonna start her Miss Douglas gonna start her a little non-profit organization where she tell people about Airbnbs. But this right here is some fool la la. I love y'all. And until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. Bye y'all.